Hey there guys, Niran here, and welcome to something different, a little bit different on our channel. I'm going to be doing a little bit of information on FIFA 14, the next FIFA, obviously you probably know that already. Yeah, there's been some screenshots released, and here is basically how career mode is going to look. This is going to be the hub, and I think it looks awesome, personally. It looks a little bit like Ultimate Team, so you've got the Central, Squad, Transfers, Office, and Season tab. I'm guessing sort of under Squad you'll obviously be doing the formation and things, and Transfer, Shortlist and all that. And Office there with the little 5 that I'm guessing that is a little notification to tell you that something has happened in your office, in your inbox or whatever, and Season, which is probably sort of stats. It looks really nicely laid out. You've got Play Match, Sim Match there, the Scouting Network, which basically now means that you can scout real players. I'll come back to that in a second. There's another screenshot of that in a second. The table there, some news, and the news feed. Looking a little bit better news-wise, because before it was sort of just a useless thing that sort of just introduced you into a game, but it wasn't really that necessary. Anyway, here's the other screenshot. This is the scouting report. As you can see, Mr. Miles, or Matt Bilby, or whatever his name is, at Tottenham Hotspur has decided to scout Gabriel Obertan. I'm really not sure why, because anyway. But anyway, and why? Why? Anyway, yeah, and you can see here the scout has brought back some information about their stats, so athleticism, technical ability, shooting, passing, defending, and mentality. The defending doesn't look as if it's been sort of squeezed down that much, but I mean, hey, I'm guessing as the weeks and months progress, those stats get a little bit more sort of precise. There's not much of a gap between the numbers. Anyway, and yeah, this also looks very nice. You can see the recent attackers, midfielders even, defenders and goalkeepers tabs. Again, that looks really nicely laid out, I think, personally. But what I am hoping is they've kept the scouting youth system as well. This is all fine and dandy, this is all peaches and cream, but if they get rid of the youth system, that's a little bit on the crap side. Anyway, basically, so I've just put some random gameplay in the background because I wanted to just take this opportunity to sort of produce a little bit of a shortlist. No, shortlist? Why? A wish list, even, is what I meant to say. Of things I would like in FIFA 14 career mode, with all this information being, well, I say all this, some information being released. Hey, it might be a good time. Anyway, so first thing, I kind of alluded to it a minute ago, would be, in this case, the youth system. Basically, what would be, I think, really awesome would be if you could get reports on your youth games and reserve games, because at the moment, sort of EA have just formed it where your youth players, if they're out on loan, I'll come back to that in a minute, if they're either out on loan, if they're not, they're just sort of stuck in the reserves, not actually doing anything, not getting fit and whatever. So I think it would just be kind of awesome, even if it's not actually to watch highlights of, you know, reserve teams scoring goals and whatnot, just get a report from your assistant manager to say who's played well, the ratings, who's scored the goals, who's got the assists, and whatnot and whatever. I think that'll be awesome. It kind of just involves the youth players a little bit, so you kind of have a separate reserve team to your own. So you've almost got two teams to run, sort of where Barca have their Barcelona team and their Barcelona B team. So a little bit like that would be really nice. What else have we got? Yeah, now also a little bit to do with the youth system. Growth. Please God, keep the youth growth system the same. Because that was really awesome. I actually liked it. It was really easy to get your players up. Stats were going like sort of 5 or 6 stats a season if they were out on loan at a nice team or they just happened to be playing for you a lot. So please keep that. And the regen system as well. That's really awesome. I mean, people might say that it's a little bit too easy to get good regens on Football Manager. You have to sort of look for them a little bit, whereas on FIFA they're just on the free agent system. You've got a load. But I still think that's really awesome, to be honest. You can find some real gems there. But anyway, that's by the way. But something you do need to change is the old players' growth. I mean, like, why do they just turn to jelly after 32? Players don't forget how to play football after 32. I saw David Beckham, well, I didn't actually see said that like he was a mate. Yeah, that's just saw David Beckham. David Beckham on my career mode was like 58 stat. After 2 seasons, David Beckham would never get that bad. Why? How and why would David Beckham ever get that bad? yes, I admit his pace would deteriorate, and, you know, maybe some of his physical attributes would change, but, you know, he's still going to be technically gifted. But, I mean, yeah, maybe a few stats, like on, I think it was FIFA 12, you actually, yeah, you did actually get that right on FIFA 12, that was, you know, that was pretty normal, but just go down too much. And my Aston Villa career mode, which is also on this channel, just a little bit of advertising there, Marcus Marshall, like, after 2 months or 3 months in November, he's gone down 5 stats. I mean, admittedly, maybe he's not the best goalkeeper, but you don't forget how to play football. It's just stupid. Anyway, that was a bit of a rant. I'm sorry, that wasn't meant to be a huge rant. But yeah, earlier I said about players out on loan, and it's the sort of same thing with the reserve and youth reports, if you like. Just getting reports like on a bit like on Football Manager, to say how your players who are out on loan are doing, because you sort of. The only way you can see how they're doing is if they're on loan at another Premier League team. They obviously go on the squad report, and it says how many games they've played, how many goals they've scored, how many assists they have, how many yellow cards they have. But if they're playing abroad, or if they're playing in a lower English division, like the Championship, League 1, League 2, then you don't get any information about them apart from the occasional cup fixture. So, you just don't know how they're doing. Like, just even a general idea of how they did it in a game, not necessarily the rating or the particular stats, but just how they did. The assistant manager just giving you a little message on your inbox on the tab that we saw a minute ago that had the notification, just to say, look, this player's done well, or he's not done very well, or he's doing well in this season so far, I think you should bring him back, or whatever. Just a little bit of, like, just a conversation, actually, between assistant manager, because you don't really, I mean, your assistant manager not tells you when they get injured, that's the physio thing. What do the assistant managers actually do? Oh yeah, tell you when you've got a suspension, but you don't reply to them, you don't actually have a relationship with the assistant manager at all, so that would be another thing that would be awesome, just sort of going through general ideas and general things to do with the squad with your backroom staff. There we go. The next thing would be more leagues. I know this is blah blah blah, everyone says more leagues, you know, well, whatever, but it is true. I think mainly just to make the Champions League more realistic, because you're getting teams like the 5th placed Swedish team getting into the Champions League or the Europa League, and that wouldn't happen. That space would be taken by a Croatian team or a Ukrainian team. So even if you don't bring the league in necessarily, just a few of the teams from that league and just put them in the rest of the world, like Panathinaikos and Olympiakos and PAOK, or however you pronounce that, PAOK, so I don't know, however you pronounce that name, but yeah, like that. So sort of Dynamo Zagreb from Croatia, Shakhtar Donetsk and Dynamo Kiev from Ukraine, Steaua Bucharest from Romania, just some different European teams, just to spice up the European competitions a little bit. It's getting a little bit old having just Scandinavian teams and, you know, whatever. And also, along with that, other league stats. So, you know how in the Premier League you can see how, like, what the top scorer is, or the best assist person. The person who's got the most assists, that probably would have been a better way of saying it. But yeah, and I think that would just be, like, cool just to know in La Liga who's got the most goals. It would obviously be Messi or Ronaldo, but that's by the by. Just to know, along with knowing how good a player is, you can do a little bit of research on how they're actually doing in a different league. It might not be that important when you're actually playing with them, but, I mean, you know, still, I think that'd be cool. And then along with the other teams and stuff, a little bit more international variety. Are Wales still not on FIFA? How? How are Wales not on FIFA? I'm not even slightly Welsh, but still. And under-21 teams as well would be quite nice, and you could possibly manage those, or youth teams. Manager sackings and realistic news. Just, like, you know, I mean, all the news at the moment, all you really get is sort of a player wants to leave or one for the future. Maybe someone being sacked or a new manager getting a job would be nice as well. And then finally, a better trophy celebration. Is it not getting slightly old? Man, I mean, like, it's been the whole belly slide confetti flying into the ground for ages. You know? Anyway, yeah, so that would be nice, and just to spice things up a little bit. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Enjoy yourself, like and subscribe, and also there will be some more career mode with Aston Villa up soon, and my friend Josh, who's also on this channel, will be getting some videos up pretty shortly, hopefully, as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I've said hopefully many times in that outro, but still, have a nice day, and goodbye.